But for this studio album, what were your main like core inspirations and influences driving the album itself?
Sexy was the word we were going with.
Sexy.
We wanted everything to be sexy before genre-wise. We just thought sexy. And then...
balance, yin and yang.
Yeah.
Equal use of the light and dark.
We wanted to just, funk is kind of the element that we are really driving this all from, the funk go-go kind of thing. And after that, we kind of sprinkle a bunch on top.
Seems to be a strange, unique influence.
Almost unobtainable on a mainstream level, I would say.
Yeah, and we're not a go-go band by any means, but it seems to be a big influence just because we grew up in the DC area.
Sure.
And our drummer doesn't like to do disco beats. I don't blame him. Yeah, so.
There's a lot of that in the quote-unquote
in the
jam
scene.
scene.
We do some disco beats. We force them
There's
to
a
do
time
it
and a
sometimes.
place.
There's a time and a place, absolutely.
But no, I like what you guys are doing. It's like dirty funk. I feel like
Dirty funk
you
is
take
a
a
good
shower
word.
afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
eating hot wings or something.
or yeah, I mean, it's just, it's sexy. And we're going for that, just people, I want people to listen to the album and do as they will.
Yeah, and eventually, once it's all out, put it all together and kind of listen to it front to back as a larger puzzle or a piece of art.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well so now this is we're getting into it. We need to talk about the way it was recorded and the way that you guys got to these themes. How did you come together and agree this was going to be about time? I mean, like, what was that moment like?
We were kind of in the moment when it happened. We didn't kind of go to the studio thinking time. We kind of got there, and once we were there, it just happened.
Actually, probably like last week.
This is an exclusive.
We were looking back and we were like, I don't know, a lot of things like that, like the name of it and all that stuff. It's just an expression of our life, really, of our life experiences. Therefore, that's the interconnectedness, and we were able to take a step back and look at it at the end of the day and be like, oh, okay, well, this is all about like the scene and like time and the essence of that and like all that stuff.
So you didn't even know about it until you could step back and look at what you had done.
Yeah,
and decipher
totally.
it for yourself.
We were just fun. We were antenna, and we just channel and do it, and then at the end of the day, we can take a step back and look and like, okay, like I rarely name a song and then write the song. Although Give Us the Weed, I do believe we decided that we needed to write a song about
weed.
I like that
liberating
song. I saw you
weed.
on CNN when we got legal in DC. Yeah, I saw
that was funny.
Yeah.
It's like a Washington Post article I nailed there.
Yeah.
My mom loved that.
That was great.
Hey, the stigma of marijuana needs to go away. That's where
Talk about that for a few seconds. I have no idea what we just meant. What is the article we're talking about?
We were at a pot party. It was the night that DC officially, I guess, legalized or decriminalized marijuana, and we ended up being with the group DC Normal. And they invited us back to their house to have a little pot party at midnight as soon as the law changed over. And, they brought in all these cameras, and CNN, Washington Post, all these people walk in, and there's a table sitting there full of all these fat joints, and they were just like, go ahead, man, here's a lighter,
smoke 'em up.
grab it up. There's no such thing as passing it around. You had your own...
Me and Will were there, but then we got so freaked out by like
Could not handle the
yeah,
cameras.
the energy in there was like crazy. The fucking
I was
Illuminati
alright with it.
I might have been the same.
newscaster.
Right.
Cameras.
All of a sudden, Baphomet is in the room.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, their energy's crazy. Get me out of here. Like,
It was a little weird. They definitely were not about to smoke any of that weed either. They were,
Brooke Baldwin wasn't getting down.
no, they were looking at us like we were,
Yeah.
some crazy people. But hey, we are crazy people. It was fun. That was a hell of an experience.
that
That
was
will
crazy.
never happen again.
But the stigma of
Never know.
weed needs to change. It needs to change. Like, we're abrasive. Like, we've always kind of contemplated those lyrics in that song. It's just, give us the weed. Thanks for the weed. It seems like it's corny or like cliche. It's like childish, but it's like, no, like, I'm not going to back down from this shit anymore. Like, fuck you. That shit needs to be legal.
We made that shit blunt.
Plus,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it can become like a standard in a way. Just those simple lyrics repeated over and over. It's almost like
it's
a
a chant.
hymn.
Give us the weed. We're
A chant, yeah.
It is a chant, and we're thanking the universe for it at the same time.
That's exactly right.
Like,
Yeah. We always try to... it's funny too. We always talk about that song. We hope people don't think that it means like, "Hey, give us your weed." Like, it's not. That's not what we're trying to say.
Although you
we
won't
will
be.
gladly take it, but
You
that
won't
is not
care
what
if
we're
someone's
actually
throwing
trying to
stuff
say.
on
Having said that, it's not a problem.
Can you say whether or not that's gonna be on the new album?
What the
Yes.
Give Us Sweet? Oh yeah.
That'll
I
be
know
on
that's
there.
a live staple. I've heard you guys.
Oh,
say
yeah.
a few times.
No, we're gonna put that
that's-
on the recorder.
Yeah,
for
what
them,
are the 4 songs coming out at the 9:30 show?
Well, definitely the song "Gypsy Queen" will be on it.
Yeah,
That's
we
the
listened
only.
to that.
That's the only one that I'm positive. Because we're still putting the pieces of the puzzle together. The material, and like I said, the link is there because it didn't come from like a forced state of mind. Like all the songs, the sonically, the instrumentation, everything is so linked together already that we're working with puzzle pieces here that can beautifully fit together however we so choose. So we're still kind of working on that. But I think that's the single. That's like the big song that the Gypsy Queen one. I don't know. What are you thinking, Will?
Yeah, that one's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The other songs, there's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
They're all good.
going back to the album, I know you guys did what a lot of bands have been doing these days with the GoFundMe crowdsourcing. So it was really cool to see that your guys' fans, got to basically fund your album and tell us a little bit about the experience of them, because one of the perks was actually going up to the cabin and partying with you guys
Right.
during the recording of the album. So
Right.
you
Yes.
could tell us a little bit about that weekend.
It was awesome. That's what we remember.
Yeah. You remember? Great. No.
So I mean, it was awesome. We had the house was, first of all, fantastic. We had this beautiful place, hot tub, and all this random stuff. It was so cool. And the people who came and supported the album were all some of our closest friends, great people. It was just a pleasure to have everyone out there. It was really kind of surreal. Like I remember recording guitar solos, and I had my headphones on. I look up, and there's like 20 of my friends sitting there staring, drinking, and I'm just sitting there like, ooh man, like it was really surreal having that. It was very
Made it
positive
interesting.
vibes. It was a great experience.
With all it was actually like really cool.
We were a little worried at first they'd get in the way or not, but it was totally
Yeah.
not
It
like
comes
that.
through
It
in
was
the
good.
recording, which, by the way, sounds fantastic. And you guys did that all yourselves.
Yeah, 100%
Yeah.
self-made.
It
Yeah.
sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
we've
you
had-
can actually, if you solo the drums on some of the tunes, you can hear like people in the background. Yeah.
Nice.
Literally for the people and by the people.
Yeah.
So crowdfunded and participated in.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
participated in it for sure. Oh yeah. I
We
mean,
even one of our friends bought a guitar that was used on the album.
yeah.
And what was the other instrument? A snare
percussion
drum,
stuff.
I guess. I think.
Yeah.
Which guitar was it?
We ended up picking up a Squire Strat.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And he
Bright
did a
pink
solo.
s-
Yeah,
Squire
bright pink
Strat.
Squire Strat.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah, this actually is a great question. Like, let's talk about the gear you used to make the album itself, and the sound of the album and what you used to achieve that. Like,
That's all this guy over here.
Yeah, so we have an X32 Behringer that we use live, and it's also an interface, so we just took it to the studio. I recorded everything directly into Ableton on my iMac, and we had a couple people bring up some really choice microphones. We had some Neumann overheads on the percussion drum area. We had a Royer ribbon mic.
on the
for
guitar.
Guitar 121.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
21.
Ooh.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's
And that was
Sean knows.
Tommy.
I don't know what's that mean.
Tommy Bailey,
It's-
right?
For the non-geeks out there, Royer R121 is a really nice, expensive, really smooth, non-abrasive sounding microphone.
Yeah, it captures
Versus like
incredible detail.
Yeah,
in the
versus like
sound.
an SM57, which is more brash sounding.
So is that
in your
more for
face.
a vocal microphone or instrumentation?
We use it on the electric guitar and some horn stuff.
Little horns. Yeah.
The electric guitar also had a SM57 in the room. It was
Nice.
We had the guitar isolated in this back room. It was really cool. So the Royer was up pretty close. Then way up on the wall somewhere, we had a 57, which I don't use any reverb on the album. So any kind of echo you're hearing is straight up from that microphone, and it created a really nice tone. That was something very different for me.
No,
I've never
I
done anything like
actually
that.
made a note earlier when I was listening to Gypsy Queen to talk to you about your sound on it, because it's just so warm and chewy, and
Yeah.
I like that
I like
because
that.
It's all
you get all your
yeah.
tone from your amp in your fingers, and just not all these. I mean, you and me both have big pedal boards, but the bass tone is from the amp.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't
That's
think
awesome.
Will's really touching much of it in the computer. Really, like
No.
we're not
No.
really a lot of the. I mean, that's
We tried to capture what we wanted the
Yeah.
final sound to be as we were doing it.
yeah, as we were doing it, it worked out really easily because we used the X32 in our live setup. So we basically
Right.
set up how we normally do, but just plugged that into a computer instead of into a sound system, and had the thing. Initially it was 32 tracks. How many are I don't know. Gypsy
There's
Queens.
a couple tracks that are up in the 60s as far as
Wow.
track count.
Yeah.
Well, I also had a note on here. I was really impressed with all the sort of horn orchestration on that song. I was wondering if that was all you.
Yeah,
on there.
totally. We
It's
use.
great, especially that last chord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Scooby Doo ending.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo
So
ending.
that's a lot of. There's like
It's so
Mellotron.
Scooby-Doo.
There's like Mellotron flute. We created our own. So there's real trumpet on a handful of stuff. Then we use that Royer to sample into Will's V-synth, and Will manipulated the trumpet to make our own unique Mellotron type trumpet thing, and then laid that under like saxophone choruses that I recorded with this thing.
You're using like a MIDI
double.
control or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the V-synth.
We used the Roland V synth, and Austin basically doubled his saxophone parts with this trumpet patch.
Yeah, we've tried that on 2 of the songs now and really liked it. The real trumpet sounds really cool too, but we've been able to program this sort of, like if Strawberry Fields Forever was played on real flutes, it wouldn't have that kind of weird, like what the hell is that?
Warm, wavy, kind
Yeah.
of almost
I love
distorted.
the Mellotron sound.
Yeah. So we kind of
This is our modern equivalent of that
yeah,
kind of
totally.
thing.
And we've been trying to do that. We've done some like reverse piano stuff, and we've definitely been having a lot of fun in the studio. Finally, being able to, like, oh shit, all right, we can like really get into manipulation.
We're
here.
using the Moog on there as well. I know
Yeah.
There's a little break, I think, in that song. It's either that song or Morning Dew.
Maybe yes, yeah. There's a little Moog break. I love them. I got a new Moog Sub 37.
Those
I
are
think
awesome.
it's the coolest keyboard ever. Moog V-synth. He's got a Voyager. We haven't put the Voyager on there, but we
Oh,
should.
you've got a Voyager now.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. We don't.
That's in my personal studio.
Yeah,
That
oh,
doesn't-
geez.
doesn't leave the
That
room.
doesn't leave the studio.
I took it out to
Our-
one gig one time. That was it.
Our old keyboard player would regularly gig with one of those. I'm like, jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's insane.
yeah.
But I mean,
That's a
Sub
lot.
37 wasn't even an option when I got the Voyager.
Dude, I think the Sub 37 is just so awesome. Just like
And just to tie
Life
that
changing.
all back to what you opened with, this it was all recorded.